This video is made for adult collectors because this product is not available anymore. Pain. So it's that time, well, I mean, I would say it's that time of the year, but there isn't a Haslab slated for next year. It's going to be announced next year, but they're not going to get it next year, at least for Transformers. But it is still that time of year because I can't think of anything else to say for the Transformers Haslab and the G.I. Joe one, as they seem to have shipped at the same time. This is a companion piece for Victory Saber, a villain to last year's hero, who somehow got more funding than Saber himself. Deathsaurus is a character I know nothing about, other than a couple of things people tell me, like he's the Darth Vader of Transformers, which already sounds cool. I like the design enough to justify backing the Haslab, and boy am I happy I did. Not without issue, but unlike Victory Saber, the packaging team for this product made sure every single piece arrives safe and sound. Extra clamshells, separately packed chrome parts, segmented packaging, no open air, corner protectors, and double layer shipping boxes. They took Victory Saber's feedback to heart, literally, and made sure this thing arrived nice and clean. That does present more packaging material, but a majority of it is plastic and cardboard, and over here anyways, they take all of that stuff for recycling, so that's nice. But it's not all box, there's so much toy here. And even though this is only one toy as opposed to the 3 from last year, this feels like a more entertaining and full experience. Not that Victory Saber was bad, because he isn't. They just took all the feedback and dialed it up on this guy, and it feels a lot more refined. His stature and his silhouette, they nailed it, looking exactly like he did in the anime. I just dig the design. It feels like a nice mix between standard G1 designs from like the West and more Japanese designs of Victory. Like, I like the blend a lot, and the styles work very well here. There is also a lot of stuff that comes with this toy. You get his sword, which looks like a sword from India. I say that because my parents are from India. A stand adapter, a cannon, a ball and chain, a tail shield, peepo, boater, a base, and a goddamn chair. And 2 chest masters that were breast masters, but they technically can't put that on a retail package, so they call it chest masters instead. It's a lot of stuff. But the actual toy itself, the plastic feels so solid. It's like probably the best mainline plastic I've felt in a long time. Part walls feel thicker, plastic feels denser, and the paint also feels super durable. The colors work very well here, though I do wish there was like a drop or two of metallic in the gray. Feels like it could have used a little bit more of that like shine to match the copper gold. Speaking of that gold, I'm so glad they did not just use straight gold. Evan, the designer, stated that they added a drop of copper into the mix to better match the vac metal parts, and yeah, I'm glad they did that because the color matching is pretty good for what you can do between chrome and plastic. The wings are nice and huge. They do articulate at 2 sections, but a part of me wishes they had a second joint closer to the bottom of the wings to make it splay out a bit more. It would have been cool for like aerial shots. They do feel good though, made out of palm, I assume, so they don't snap under pressure. They flex a little bit, but that's so that they don't snap. So that's great, and the colored bits on top are inserted and pinned in. They ain't falling out at all. It's also super clean, nothing egregious hanging off that shouldn't be there. The head of the kaiju and the hands for the kaiju kind of makes sense because that's part of his design. And the head also becomes storage for the mace, which is cool. I do wish the mace had an optional posable chain. That feels like something I would have liked to see on this $179 US Haslab, but Head is bang on though. I love the way the scowl looks and the chrome crown piece and the swooping eagle beak on his head. It looks great. Now he does have 2 buddies that I may refer to as tapes, so just ignore that. These 2 tapes, there it is, are eagle chest and tiger chest. You eject them by pushing in the hollow space at the back, and it just springs them out, and the spring-loaded panel comes to fill in the chest with some nice painting on it. But these 2 unfold pretty much how you would expect these 2 little dudes to work, and they look neat. I think I like eagle chest a bit more than tiger chest, but tiger chest though presents a small issue I have with the main robot. My stomach just growled. When you put him in the chest, his head hangs low, a little bit below the waist joint, and because of that, rotating the waist is a bit weird. It can move out of the way by looking up a bit, but I really wish it could go further. If it does, then great, but I can't. There's actual stoppers in there, I can see that stop his neck from going up any further than this. So it's weird. The waist still works fine. It's just managing Eagle Chest's head is a bit strange. You can plug him into a stand, but I really wish the arm was adjustable. I'd love to get him higher up off the ground, but his port is 5mm, and I don't have any 5mm stands. But the stand does work. I very much like how big and not flimsy the stand feels though. Victory Sabers felt kind of floppy and weird. This one feels extremely nice and secure, and I think it just has to do with how wide that base is. Then there's the chair. Everything stores on the back of the chair, which is so cool, minus the stand itself. I kind of wish that went on the bottom of the big base. But you can seat Deathsaurus in there, though it has to be done in a very specific way. So seating this man is a bit of a learning curve because you have to prep him in order to get him in the chair. You can't just sit him in it. It's not a lot of prep though. Literally what you have to do is move the chair so that it's not in focus. And the toy is you want to unlock his knees and then lift the legs up and then bend at the knee and at the transformation joint. Then you can collapse the knee pad back in. That's how you have to get him seated. Otherwise, he doesn't fit in the chair. He's gonna be too tall for it. So once you get him all situated like that, we're gonna get the arms up so that they clear the armrests. You wanna make sure the wings are completely flat out. Now, these two clips right up here are going to slide into the two rails up there. They're actually the pegs for the head, but you slide them in, just like that. And now he is seated in his chair. See, you just gotta remember to do all that stuff first. Oh, that looks so fantastic. Chairs need to be an accessory more. Like, this looks sick. And you can seat others in it too. There's so many different options here that makes me really want to get 86 Starscream even more. And he kept selling out where I live. I know, weird, right? Now, Tiger Chest can become the bow, and that is so damn cool. The arrow and the two-finger articulation is a nice touch, and it looks epic. Now, Eagle Chest can also perch at the top of the chair. You can just peg in. I forgot to show that. Now, with all the stuff he comes with, his posing, it's fire.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is
So Deathsaurus comes with a lot of articulation, and you'd kind of hope so because he's a Haslab. There is like two things I don't like, one of which I've already talked about, which is the waist. The other is the fact that the ankles don't go forward. I think that might have to do with like a balance thing. So the head is on a ball joint, I think. It feels like it's a ball joint, so I can't actually tell, but it feels like a ball joint, so you can get all your sort of range of motions there. These little flaps here on Eagle Chest can move forward to accommodate these shoulder ratchets. And they feel like actual spring-loaded ratchets as opposed to like weird plastic ratchets that Victory Saber felt like. Shoulder can go out can go out that far. You do have a butterfly joint as well that bends all the way forward. You have bicep rotation. You have a little bit over 90-degree bend at the elbow, wrist rotation, along with the double finger split because of the way that the arrow is done. It's supposed to be like, oh, you're pulling the arrow back. It does look weird though. I kind of wish that they just split all four of the fingers anyway, so you could do 1, 2, 3, or 4 yourself. That would have been nice. You do have the waist joint with the weird dingle dangle hanging out in front. You have an ab crunch as well. It doesn't bend too far forward, but it does bend forward a little bit. The hip skirts can move out of the way to accommodate the hip ratchets. Oops. Bend the right leg. There we go. And go back that far. They can go out that far. You have thigh rotation, 90-degree bend at the knee, and then you have ankle tilt, and the ankles can move down and they can't move up, which is unfortunate. And then the wings, the head in place, the wings can go up and down and in and out. So he's pretty posable. He's got all the articulation you'd kind of want. I just wish those feet could bend a bit. That would have been very, very nice. So yeah, that's the robot and all the bits, and it's such a nice and complete package. Now let's make it a giant murder death chicken thing. I could totally see this being a man in a rubber suit for a Godzilla film.
Now let's get him transformed, and this is pretty much nothing like the original, which is awesome because Victory Saber was just the original toy again. So this actually does a lot of different stuff, especially in the legs. So to start with, just to make it easier, I'm going to remove the two chest masters here. So we're just going to pop them out. Come on. There we go. And then we're going to fold the ears in, open this flap at the back, fold the entire Kaiju head over. Whoop, clip it into place, fold this up, and then you've got the chicken head all over his head. Now we're going to do the arms. So you want to straighten them out. The shoulders will click into place. Rotate the arms 180 degrees. Open up these panels here, fold in the wrist, and then fold down the chicken leg. Fold this up, and then compress it, like so. Rotate the foot around and down. We'll split the toes later. And boom. Oh, then rotate the arms up so it looks like he's surrendering. Surrender. Now we're going to do the legs. So to start with, you want to flip out the hip skirts like that at about 90 degrees. Turn them around. And this is where it becomes very, very interesting. So we're going to fold the heels in. Then you're going to open this section. Bring this up. Close this up. And then get in here and just unpeg it. There we go. Do that on this side as well. Everything sits very securely in there. There we go. Then you unhook the knee pads, fold this section up and in, fold it up and in like that. Now at this point, we're going to open these sections up and shift them in and then close it. So open this section up, shift it in, and close it. That will form the chicken's chest. And then you fold the feet down like that. Come to the back here, fold this in and close it. And it will snap everything into place. Then we take the tail, which by the way, this can store within the tail. You then close this section up, plug this in, and then clip the knee pads into the tail to hold everything in place. Now you open this up, rotate this down, clip it in, open, there we go. Open that up, rotate it down, peg it in, bring the wings up like so, bring down the feet, just get them situated all nice there, open the toes, get them standing properly, fold out the arms, they peg in, then you fold out his little wonky arms, and there you go. That's chicken mode. Now, I've heard a couple of people, well, I've heard from a buddy of mine that a couple of people are complaining about these not pegging in properly. And like, when you move the arms around, they're fine, but if you really move them around, it does come out. So just be wary of that. They do clip in though. Then we'll take chest masters, plug them in, like so. In, I said. In, there we go. There you have Deathsaurus.
That's a murder death space chicken. If I've ever seen a murder death space chicken, it's very funny, but it's cool. It's also huge as hell and can be put on a flight stand for even more huge. And next to the original, granted mine is missing everything detachable, that looks so nice. The presence of this toy isn't lost in the conversion either. He still looks menacing even though he's just a giant fire-breathing chicken. The blast effects are neat, always nice to have more of those, though I don't think anything can beat the J Balvintron ones for me. They're still my favorite. However, this being a Haslab, I would have liked there to be a new blast effect mold. That would have been nice. I'm getting a bit tired of the same Jetfire and Omega ones being used over and over and over and over again. It would be nice, especially again for a Haslab, for you to get new blast effects. That would have been nice. He can hold the living metal destroying cannon in this mode too, which is great. A chicken with a gun. We got a chicken with a gun before we got GTA 6.
I completely forgot to do Peepo and Boater. Here's Peepo. Peepo looks cool. Peepo's out of focus. Come on. Peepo, legs clipped together. Fold this all up. Collapse Peepo arm. There you have Peepo as ambulance with reused wheels. But Peepo's cool. Boater. Boater looks like this. Boater can have arms compress. Boater can clip legs together. You flip out Boater front. Fold up Boater back. there you have a boat. He's a boat. These are cool. These are probably the best Micromasters I think I've ever handled, and I would like more like this, preferably, because these are very nice. Anyways, Deathsaurus' chicken posability. Well, this little fin here can move. The head can look down, it can look up. This flap can cover up the neck joint, which is nice. You got rotation there. The mouth can open and close. Arms can move forward and back, in and out. You got bicep rotation, hinge joints. So the little arms are pretty posable. The legs are pretty much just the robot arms, so forward and back, unpegging. In and out, there we go. No rotation. You do have this joint here, and then you have a joint at the base here that goes a little bit, as well as a joint down here and a swivel, and the toes move. So like, he's okay posable in chicken mode. You can't move the tail. It's stationary, but it's not bad.
So yeah, this is fire. It definitely feels like they've figured out how to do a Haslab properly. Unicron was super mixed review-wise, of people liking it and hating it. I don't think I've ever seen like an in-between. I still want one though. Victory Saber most people like, but it was fraught with problems due to his packaging and his QC. This though, I haven't seen any complaints about it other than maybe tiny little gripes people have. They just seem to be happy with it and enjoying it to its fullest. And I think that means this was a successful Haslab. Even though I have my own complaints about it, I still love this thing, and I think it's a huge success, which is a good thing. All they got to do is keep this momentum going for whenever they reveal the next one, because this is the best one they've done so far, Transformers-wise. Like, it's by far the best. It feels the best, it poses the best, it transforms the best, its package is the best, quality control is the best. It just is good. But that's my look at Transformers Haslab Victory Saber. No, that's not how you say it. What? I can't read. Transformers Haslab Victory Deathsaurus. There we go. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. And because this is coming out on Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you don't, happy whatever holiday is happening for you right now. I know there's several that are happening right now. And if you don't, happy day off. Bye.